Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss dynamic alignment, which is going to be supplement number 1 of my Hogan series. This is something that was initially taught to me by Bradley Hughes and John Erickson out of Advanced Ball Striking. I've since then taken that info plus what I believe Hogan's secrets were and combined the two so that when I'm aligning to a target, it's completely 100% intuitive. And today I'm going to teach you how to do that. Okay, so as you can see, I have 2 alignment sticks set up here. One is set on essentially the 430 line, which we've discussed many times. The other is set up on my target line. Now there's a little tiny right to left wind today, and the slope is kind of running away from me, so I'm aiming just a little bit right of that orange flag out there, which is probably about 120 yards today. I have a 46 degree. It's about 38 degrees with a little wind, so the ball is probably not going to go too far. Not too concerned if I go over the flag. I'm mostly just working on aligning to a target intuitively. Okay, so this is what we call dynamic alignment. First, we have to start with the discussion of the 430 line, which, if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, essentially what this is our path of entry to the golf ball. It's called the inside path. Of all great ball strikers in history have always used an inside path to the golf ball because there's inertia, essentially, that turns the toe over. When that inertia turns the toe over, it's what squares the toe up, or as the modern guys like to talk about it, club face rotation pre and post impact, which essentially squares my face at impact and keeps it square for 12 to 24 inches past the ball. Anywho, so today I'm going to teach you guys how to take lesson 1, which is the grip and the waggle, and how to learn how to dynamically align to the target in space and free yourself up from basically any inhibitions that you have before you pull the club away. Now, I'm going to pull up here. I'm going to show you guys Ben Hogan's pre-shot routine. Shot routine, which essentially was 3 waggles. He would come in with the right hand. He would set up his first waggle there so that his body could come in and set to his target. Then he would grab his second waggle. So it kind of comes in like so. His body is now set square to the target with his club face. Then he grabs with his left hand. He waggles first time. Boom, sees the club face is a little bit closed. Sets in. Waggle's now square. Third waggle is just verifying his impact line, his 430 line. Boom, now he's ready to go. Then he comes back to the ball and swings. Just like so. Well, pretty solid shot there. Did pull it just a touch left, but no big deal. I'm trying to teach and show you guys this at the same time. So When I was a member of Advanced Ball Striking, John Erickson wrote up quite a few posts about dynamic alignment, and Bradley Hughes actually released a few videos about it, where essentially they discuss how you should see alignment from the top. Okay, so for those of you that haven't seen my impact geometry video, you should definitely check it out. I'll post it up here so you can see it. But essentially what we want to do is we want to see how it would look from our eye line. So here we are, setting up to the ball. Here are my feet. Let's make sure I get all that in frame. And essentially what we're looking at is from the impact angle, we're going to come in here, impact the ball, and release it down this alignment stick, like so. Okay? So as we're standing over the ball, if we don't have these two areas identified, our body and our mind can't develop a path, an inside path to the golf ball that allows us to strike it consistently. Okay, so now that you've seen the top view, I want to give you guys a little caddy view too, so you can understand from a geometry perspective over the top of the ball. That probably looks really weird to a lot of you, but understand this is the proper way to ball striking, to elite ball striking is what I should say. So as we set up to this, I want you to see that from down the line, it's going to look like we're throwing the club at the camera, okay? And understand that's not what we're doing. This is just where we end up on the 430 path when we know how to properly shallow the club and hit the ball from the inside path. So just understand the reason why we set our alignment sticks up this way is to practice dynamic alignment, which is path to target. Okay, so you have to connect these dots. And just because I love to be thorough, I'm going to give you one more angle at it so that you can see when we're hitting at a target, we're aiming at that orange flag, but as we come into the ball, we're coming in from this angle. Okay? So pay very close attention to this. As I shallow the club, I am on what's called the 430 line, as you can see. From there, as I turn and release the club, everything squares up. And then the club, because of inertia, when I go left, the club's going to go dead straight. Okay? And that's the idea behind elite ball striking. Okay, so now let's talk about the finer details of how to set this up. If you're a beginner, set it up pretty far away from the ball. You don't want to get too close to it because it'll mess with your concentration, and that's no good. So definitely give yourself a little bit of space. Make sure that this alignment stick is set in line with your target as well as possible. We've got a little divot, a hole right here, so I'm trying not to hit out of that. But essentially this gives me all the lines I need. From there, there's a couple of different ways to train this, but I'm going to assume that you guys already have a swing you trust. So for those of you that don't like the 439 quite as much, you can set your alignment stick up like this. You can even set it up with a little over the top path. It's not going to matter. It's whatever you do to release the club to square it off. Because again, if you're coming over the top, you're going to open the face and it's still going to be pointed at your target because naturally that's all the body can really do after a while. But if you want to become an elite ball striker, start at, we'll say, the 3:30, 4 o'clock line and work your way to the 4:30 line. And that's probably a little too much there, but it's not too bad. So let's just see what it looks like in slow motion so you guys can understand that although this is what I'm feeling, feel is also not real. I will get here, but when I release that club, it's happened so incredibly fast that this is just a guideline. It's not really something that you can take to the course with you. It's just something that you use to vector yourself at a target on the course. So of course, we always start with our waggle. We go back to the 430 line, boom. There's the 430. Now I know I'm on point. My ball position is square. I'm aimed at my target. Now all I have to do is swing and just trust that everything is aligned properly. And as you can see, it goes right over the top of my target. Now, there's a little right to left wind today, so it did draw just a touch, but I wasn't accounting for that. So just understand that this is a drill for dynamic alignment to get the ball started in the right direction with essentially a square club face. That doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily continue in that direction, given the other parameters of the golf game, right? Wind, slope, whatever, what club you're hitting, how much offset there is, how far you released it right or left of your target. So this goal is just to get you guys to become target aware. All right. I'm going to hit one more, and then I'm going to change clubs so you can see how the 430 line stays the same no matter what club I have in my hand. So just checking the 430 line, bam, there it is. Now I know I'm square. Even though I'm closed off, this is dynamically aligned perfectly at my target. And there you go, just right on my target, the wind's drifting it back. Yeah, that's a really solid shot there. That's exactly what we were looking for. So that was my pitching wedge. So now we're just going to jump up to a 6-iron, and you guys can kind of get an idea. Even though it's a much longer club, the rules still apply. 430, dynamic, bam. I'm right on my 430 line here. And again, you can verify this with your eyes. It's all right here in front of you. So we're here with our waggle. Now everything is set. All I have to do is swing. And there you go. Just do a couple more so you guys get a good feel for that. So that one went a little right because this 430 line is a little too much. That's probably closer to 430 right there. That was maybe a 445 line. There we go. Much better. Perfect. Now all I gotta do is swing right over that orange flag. Ta-da. And I mean, just right on line, guys. So again, it is aimed right at the left edge of that right bunker, so just inside the green, and that's where the ball started. The wind drifted back just a little, so it came back to my target and it was perfect.